Hello everyone, and in this video, I am going to teach you how to create your very first antivirus.
Yeah. So they might already
Okay guys, so we start off by creating a new folder with the make directory. Let's just call it. So in the make directory, let's just call it antivirus. There we go, and then navigate to the antivirus, and then code. Okay, so the first thing you do is create a new file. Now, before you could create any antivirus, okay, you need to detect a virus, okay. And so we create, basically, we'll be using Python to create the script, okay. So we would import OS and then name the function is file malicious, okay. Okay, in there, we'll be taking two arguments, which will be the file path and the malicious signature. Okay, so basically the malicious signature is a digital signature designed for malicious intent, okay? And then since this is a situation that could potentially fail, we would wrap it in a try exception block and then with open. Now this open is a method in Python, okay? And so we say open the file path, okay? And then the next argument would be in what format, okay? And then this RB here stand for, it will be reading it in a binary format, okay? And then we'll name it as file. And then in there, we'll create a function, say file content, and say file dot read. So it is going to read the content of the file. And there we'll check if malicious signature, sorry, I can spell malicious well, malicious signature is in the file content. Okay, and then we would return true. Otherwise, we would just return false. Okay. Otherwise, we'll just return false and then we'll be done with it. So we'll say return false. And then we'll have to catch the exception also to get rid of all the errors. So we could have a file not found error. Okay, I think this should be here. There we go. File not found error. And then we just print and say file not found. So I hope you are not confused. Basically, to create an antivirus, okay, so the antivirus has to have the capability of detecting malicious software, and that is what we are trying to achieve. I think here should be file content. Okay, we'll be using kernel keys throughout. Okay, and we'll also return false if we do not found the file. And now to run it, we'll say if name double underscore is equal to double underscore main. What we'll be doing is now we'll be using a malicious signature. We'll need to input the malicious signature we are trying to find in the file. Okay, so the malicious signature here would be equal to, okay, so it will be equal to this string over here. And I always forget that this would be double. Okay, now let me explain what we are trying to do now. As I said before, you are trying to build an antivirus, okay? And before you could build any antivirus, basically, okay, the basic concept of it is that it should be able to detect malicious software. Otherwise, your antivirus is basically useless, okay? And so we are creating a function, okay, that opens the file you want to check if it's infected or the file you want to scan, and then we'll check if that file has a virus. So you see that immediately the Windows defenders and the antivirus quickly pick that I am trying to create a malicious content here. So I'll just go and say keep file. Okay, so there are various sites out there that gives you access to test your software, basically your antivirus software. Okay, and one of them is ica.org. It gives you a file, which is basically a virus file to test if your antivirus is working properly. The link will be in the description below. Okay. And so every virus, as I said, has a malicious signature. Okay. And that is what we are trying to search for. And so with the particular virus we are searching for, it has this type of malicious signature. Okay. And so basically we want to check if we'll be able to detect that virus. Okay. And so we'll continue the code by saying, and then we also have to specify the file path. Okay. So we'll say file path. And then in the file path, okay, so this is where the virus is. I've already downloaded it. Again, the link will be in the description below if you need it. Okay. And so what we'll have to do is come here and then say copy as path. Come back here and then in there, this is the, let's remove the extra question mark. Okay, so this will be the file path. And then we'll say, and then we say if it's file malicious, where we will need the file path and then the malicious signature as well. Here we'll print and say malicious, or we could say potential. I can spell it. File has been okay. There we go. Okay, so else just print file is free from virus. Okay, and with that, we've gotten a basic script that checks if a file is malicious. Again, let me go through it one more time so you don't get confused. And if you are confused with the syntax of Python, I'm sorry about that, but you would need to understand a little bit of Python since you want to be a cybersecurity expert. And also, I will be dropping a crash course in Python so that after you've watched that video, you'll be able to follow all my other videos relating to cybersecurity. Okay. And so with this, we've gotten a basic script that checks if our file is malicious. So let's go ahead and run it in our terminal. Let's just in the PowerShell. That is a very cool feature Visual Studio Code has to offer. And then in there, we'll say Python detect file.py. So now the file is running. And there we go. Potential malicious file has been detected, which means I did tell you earlier that this file is a virus, okay? And then if you want to find this file to test for your antivirus, this site will definitely provide it for you, okay? And so we tested our script and then it indeed found a virus, okay? Let's do one more thing. Let's try and remove the virus, okay? And so we say os.remove and it will take in the file path. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't want to lose this script. So what I'll do is I'll copy it and then come here and then I'll paste it here. Okay, so I don't want to lose the virus script. Okay, so now let's come back here and then run the file again. And remember that we are searching this folder and checking for any files out there that has a potential virus. And so, and then right now we've upgraded or modified the code to remove any malicious software. Okay, so now let's run the code again. And then, okay, so to see if we have achieved the deletion, let's also print file deleted as well. Now let's come back here and then say Python detect file.py. And there the script runs, and there we go. It found the virus and deleted the virus. Now let's confirm that. Let's come back here and we see that there's no virus. And even if we go to recycle bin, we do not see it as well. Cool. So And so there you go, guys. We have gone through step one. So our antivirus has been able to detect and remove viruses. Okay. And let's take it a little bit further. Remember, we are still in the process of building our antivirus. Okay, guys, so now that we have been able to detect if a file is malicious, let's go ahead and create a new file and check if a file is corrupt. And so in there, I'll just say file corrupt.py. Okay, and so we'll create a function, is file corrupt. And then, okay, so we will need the file path and also the expected signature. Okay, so let me explain what the expected signature is. So every file has a unique signature, okay? And when the file becomes corrupt, it basically loses that signature, okay? Okay, let's say you have a JPEG file. JPEG, okay, has a signature. The moment the file becomes corrupt, it loses that signature, and that is what we are trying to create. Okay. Now, this some of these things I am mentioning requires a little bit of experience in cybersecurity, but that is what I am trying to convey here. Okay. As on your road to become a cybersecurity expert, these are things you get to know. Okay. And so every file has a expected signature it should have, and there are thousands of files that has their expected signature. We'll be checking some of them here. Okay. And so again, since this is an operation that could potentially fail, it's better to wrap it with a try exception block. And then we'll be seeing the open again. It's basically a function or a method, okay, where we'll open the file path. And then again, we'll read it in the binary format. We'll say has file. And then the actual signature. That is what we are trying to find here. So in here, we'll say actual signature. I can spell it, signature, which is equal to file.read, and then we'll have the length, and then we'll say expected signature. Now, basically, what we've done here is we want to read the actual signature of the file, and to read the actual signature, that is when the file is not corrupt. This is the way to go, and then you just return actual signature to be equal to the expected signature. Okay, so now this little script we've written basically is checking if a file is corrupt. And to check if a file is corrupt, what it does is it reads the file's length of the expected signature. And so I informed you earlier that every file has an expected signature, okay, to show that hey, this file is not corrupt. And that is what we are trying to do here. We are trying to find the actual signature. To find the actual signature, we need to find the expected signature, and that is what I just tried to do here. And so next thing is to get rid of the errors by bringing the except syntax, and we could have a found not found error. There we could easily print file not found. And we could say we could specify the file path. Okay, there we go. Basically, we are just saying the file was not found at that particular path. We could also have another exception that catches every other exception as E. Okay, and there we could print operation was not able to succeed. Please try again later. Okay, and then we'll see what failed by saying E. There we go. And now to run this file, we'll say if name double underscore is equal to double underscore main. Now you've seen me write this many times. Basically, what this means is that if this script, right, the one we are writing right now, should only run when we try to type something like item file corrupt, okay, file corrupt.py. Okay, so this syntax you see me writing here basically means that this file should only run when we want to do something like this. Apart from that, any other scenario where we try to instantiate this file wouldn't work. Okay, and so there we could access the file path, and then we also have the expected signature. Expected signature. I hope I spelled out right. And just copy it from here and then say expected signature. Now, I need to say this again. As I said, every file has its expected signature. Okay, and so let me show you this. I have a little note here. So for the PNG, which is the portable network graphics, now every file has a magic number, also known as the expected signature. So if a PNG file is corrupt, it would not have this particular expected signature. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, and then come back to our file. Okay, so let's come back and paste it. But I think I did a little mistake here. It should be equal to. Okay, to get rid of the errors. Let's paste this there. And then let's run the command is file corrupt. We have our file path. And then we also have our expected signature as well. And then we'll check if it's file corrupt. That means if this file was able to run successfully with the file path and the expected signature, what we'll then print is file, that's in quotation, and say file is definitely, definitely not corrupted. Else we'll print file is full of corrupted signatures. There we go. Okay, now what we have to do is take the file path. And so I have a, now I'm going to show you something in a while. Let me just copy as path. Okay. And then come back here and post this here. Let's remove the extra quotation. There we go. We have a fully function now. And let's try and run this. Now see what happens here. Okay, it says, okay, I think I typed it wrong. It's supposed to be file, not flee, and supposed to be corrupt, yeah, .py. And the file runs, and it says file is full of corrupted signatures. Now here's the thing: this file is not full of malicious signatures. Okay, the reason our script recognize this as a virus is that this file is of type JPEG. Let me hover around it and you see that this type is of type JPEG. And in here, we were checking for PNG. Okay, that is the portable network graphics. Okay, and so if I just change this here, okay, and then run it, you see that as the script runs, it says file is definitely not corrupted. So let's take this one step further, okay, and let's try and make this a foolproof virus. And to do that, we need to scan the files, okay. And therefore, let's say, let's create another Python script and say scan directory.py. So we'll just create a function and say scan files, or yeah, basically it's scanning the files in a folder, and we'll be taking a directory. I can spell directory. There we go. Now again, this is the Python syntax, and I'll do my best to explain it. So basically, what we are doing is we are going to the root, that is the main folder of the directory, okay, and we are going to each, that is what the work stands for. To do that, we will need to import OS, okay, and then go to each directory. I mean, go to each file. So what this os.work does, say you have a folder, okay, what it does, it goes to each folder, enters each file, and then scan them. But this is still not the file. Inside, we'll have another for loop and say for file and files, that is the files we get from here. We then say file path is equal to os.path.join, and then we go root and then say file. Okay, so basically we are trying to find the file path, and with the help of the OS, which is a very powerful library in Python, it gives us the file path of every file that is in the directory or is in the folder. And there we could bring the file path. Okay, for now. Okay, so guys, what we've done here is create a function that basically scan for files in a folder. That is how powerful Python is. With just 7 lines of code, even six, if I want to remove the space, we've been able to create a function that scans for files. Okay, and so again, to run this program, we'll say if name double underscore is equal to main. We've seen this before, and so specify directory or specified folder we are trying to scan, and then we'll also call the function scan files, which take in the specified folder. Okay, now let's take a folder to scan, and so okay, so let's take a folder to scan, and so let's just say copy as path. Okay, and then paste it here. Let's remove the extra quotation marks, and there should be a double, and there we go. Now let's run Python scan directory.py. And there we go, guys. We have been able to create a directory that scans for files. It doesn't really do anything. It just scans the files and prints them out. Okay. So what does it do? And so now this function here was to show you, okay, because we are not going to create. We've seen how to detect a file. We've seen the file corruption, and we've also seen how to scan a directory. Now, with this knowledge we have gotten now, let's do this and create a very small but powerful antivirus. Okay, and so in the Python, we'll create a new file. Let's just call it the ultimate antivirus, antivirus.py. Okay, let's import OS, not import error, import OS. And then we saw how to create when a file is corrupt, okay? So we could copy all that. Now we are creating the ultimate virus here, okay? And then after we've seen the corrupted files, let's add another function. That's the scan files. Okay. So this simple thing right here. And then in the scan file is file corrupt. And there we'll have our file path and our expected signature. Okay. And then we'll check if it's file corrupt. Again, we'll have our file path and our expected signature. What we'll do is say print file is not corrupted, else let's print file is definitely, I can spell definitely corrupted. Okay, seek help now. Okay, and so with that, we'll just say if name, okay, we'll have to remove one of these. So we'll just say if the name is equal to main, the specified folder, and we also need the expected signature. Okay, and then we'll be able to call scan files. In here, what we'll do is the scan files will also have the expected signature as well. Okay, so expected signature. We are combining what we learned from the 3 previous scripts we wrote. Okay, signature. So in here, also take the expected signature, and there we go. I think okay, I think it's not accepted but expected. Okay, sorry for the error. Let's just fix that right now, and there we go. There we go. All right, guys. Now, with the combination of these 3 script roots, we are now able to create the ultimate file. Let me just change this here to dev, and because it has a lot of files, and we'll be able to check. And then let's just take any expected signature. Okay, so let's just use PNG. So this is the expected signature for PNG, and I think you have to remove this. Okay, and now let's test our very foolproof antivirus. Okay, let's come in and say Python automate antivirus .py. Hope I spelled it correct. No, I didn't. It's supposed to be antivirus.py. And let's see what happens now. Okay, so there you go, guys. Now we've created an antivirus that is scanning through every file in that particular folder and is checking if that file is corrupted or not. And then you go, this process is going to run until all files has been checked, and it will be giving us a feedback if the file is not corrupted or not. I was getting dizzy for a little bit, and you will see that you get this message: file is definitely corrupted, seek help now. And that is because all the files in that particular folder are not PNG files. Okay. And that's making the file corrupt. You could even add the detect its file malicious, okay, and place it in the ultimate virus. You could tweak it any way you want. But I think that we have a basic setup where we can detect if a file is malicious, we can detect if a file is corrupt. Okay, so with that knowledge, we've been able to create a very foolproof, it's small, yes, 31 lines of code of antivirus, but we've been able to create foolproof antivirus that checks for malicious softwares. Okay, guys, so that will be it for today. In the previous video, we've seen how to create a virus. In this video, we saw how to create antivirus. I think we should take a step forward and hack something, hack a device, hack a website, hack a database. And so in the coming videos, we would try and hack something. But until the next video, see you.
Yeah.